If you're looking for some ideas of how to set up your fishing kayak, you're in the right place. Daren Wendell here with Wendell Fishing, and I'm going to walk you through my Bonafide P127. Now I have a variety of different kayaks, Native Slayer Propel 10, up there, if you guys can see it. I have a Sun Dolphin Aruba 10, which is my throw and go, and a Wilderness Systems IATAK, which is an inflatable. But today, this is the one I primarily fish out of, and this is the one I fish my tournaments in. So I'm gonna walk you through, maybe give you some ideas of how to hook yours up, whether you have a Bonafide P127 or not. A lot of these modifications would apply to you and your kayak. So let's go ahead and hop right in. All right, so as a content creator, I run actually 2 cameras on my kayak. I have a GoPro up here, which I believe it's a 7 black. I got some aluminum casings here. I had a plastic one once. It broke off and I lost my GoPro, so I went aluminum on all the housings. And then I have ram mounts, and I just connected it to my motor plate, which I don't have a motor on the front because I have one on the back. And then I run a Type-C. Let me get my PFD out of the way. We'll get back to that in a minute. And I run it under my hatch here. All right, in the hatch, I'm gonna run that to my All-Start Boost Max, and that'll run it for a long time. All right, next, since we're in the hatch here, this is going to be my Aqua Pro battery kit. This is actually going to be a 20 amp hour battery because it's running dedicated to my Garmin Fish Finder. And so basically I have all the wires down there, and then I have them protected with the Live Fishing trolling motor sleeves, which you can get. In fact, if you use the code Wendell Fishing, you get, I think 10% off, livefishing.com. So I'll throw that link in the description below, but these are to protect my wires, because a lot of times you have your wires laying at your sun. If you fish as much as I do, and when sun hits wires over a prolonged period of time, they'll start to fade, start to get brittle, and it's not what you want, because I'm sure these are not too inexpensive. And so this is my Garmin UHD 92 SV. And so this has down scan and side scan. I've done a variety of different videos on how to read those. I would highly recommend, if you're looking to upgrade and you're not quite the FFS level, forward facing sonar, and you're like, okay, I tried out the lower end models, you want to upgrade. I love the Garmin UHD 92 or 93 SV. One comes with maps, one doesn't. And this is going to treat you well. Now, you might be like, what is this thing on the outside? This is a Burley Pro sun visor. And so you can buy these. I actually had one of my subscribers give this to me, said he didn't use it anymore. I forget the story behind it. Nonetheless, just going to cut down on glare from different angles. It's not 100%, going to cut down on the glare, but it does help for sure mitigate glare. So I actually see this when I'm out on the water. All right, and I have this hooked up with a YakAttack extender, and these things I can just easily rotate them around if I don't like the angle, but it won't come out until I hit this release, and then I can take it completely off. So that is very, very nice. All right, what else did I miss under here? Nothing here. You can lock this down. Let's go ahead and go underneath the kayak. Oh, looks like I'm missing the rest of my 2 here. I'm gonna get busted by the DNR. All right, on the underside here, you can see this is a very well used keel guard. Now I made this myself. You can buy them, but they could be really, really expensive. And so I'll show you how to make one of these out of a piece of Kydex. It might cost you 20 bucks and some adhesive. And so I put this on 2 years ago, not a single issue since. So I love the Kydex keel guards. I know a lot of people have used this. I think that video has close to 100,000 views, which is pretty awesome. And on the Bonafide P127, this is a mounting plate for your transducer, and so it makes it really nice, and so I'm not going to rip this off. If you don't have a mounting plate or it's not built into your kayak, there's a lot of different options for you to run it off the side of your kayak. And some of those options are cell blocks by YakAttack. I think YakAttack actually makes something called a switchblade, which you can like swing it down. So I'll throw the links to both of those in the description below as well. All right, coming down the kayak here on the inside, we'll get to that motor in a minute. The light's really good from this way, but if I go to the other side of the kayak, it's not. So I'm going to flip this bad boy around to get the other side. All right, this right here is just simply the mic I'm using right now. So also, this is a Hollyland Lark 2 if you're going to get into content creation and you're looking for a fairly inexpensive mic and you like the sound of the one I have. I'll throw this in the link as well. All right, what else do we have? This guy right here, this is gonna be my Ketch board. So if you're not into kayak fishing tournaments, I mean, maybe you're new to kayak fishing tournaments, you might be used to measuring fish by weight. However, in kayak fishing tournaments, you upload them to a tournament management system, a TMS. And that TMS system will go by length. And everyone's gotta be using an approved board, and Ketch boards are approved. I believe you can get 5% off. All you gotta do is head over to wendellfishing.com, go to the discount code page. I'll go there all the time before you buy something in the fishing world. A lot of times I'll have discount codes for you. So 5% off on all Ketch products. And what you'll do is before the tournament, you'll go on and just basically put in the codes that they only release like hours before it starts. So no one can cheat. So basically you put the fish down on its side, and wherever the tail ends, that is going to be the length, and then you upload the photo, and boom, usually your top 5 bass, not always. And so that is my Ketch board. Now I have this thing tethered to my kayak because I would probably have to buy 20 of these bad boys from how many times I accidentally knock it out of place and it goes, and I can just easily pull it back up. Now this right here, I don't think this one's actually a YakAttack one, but you can, these are called double headers. These are actually made for paddles. However, the Ketch board fits really nicely. Stick it in there, flip it up, and boom. And it takes quite a bit to knock that out. All right, moving on down. Let's go under here. Now, when Bonafide came out with the P127, there wasn't really an under the seat storage option. And I used to have, and used to play around a lot with, this guy right up here. On my Native Slayer Propel 10, I would have this Craftsman VersaStack. And basically pull this out, and that would fit underneath my kayak seat. However, on the Bonafide P127, it's really going to depend on the style of kayak. You can see down here, the design has this plastic coming in, and so it did not fit the VersaStack. And so what I did is I created my own. And so this is this is going to be, I think, one of those, you can buy them on Amazon, and they're the under the desk pull out. And I was like, okay, I'll just create some brackets. I worked with 3D Yak, built this bad boy up, bought some Bungee marine grade, and now I have a nice drawer. And in here, I just have some of the latest and greatest. These are going to be the X-Zone Stealth Invaders I've been goofing around with, having some luck with. This is going to be the Ned rig, having some luck with. Picking them up on the X-Zone Ned rig. Oh, black and blue right now. Juicy 18.5 incher. I'll take it. And Strike Ting sent me over their homing minnow, which I've been goofing with, and I go out a lot of times way before the sun comes up. So having a nice light to be able to see around, got some jig heads, got a live fishing bait protector. So just some miscellaneous in there. And then up top, I basically have a lot of my terminal tackle. This is going to be if I need a hook of some sort. Sometimes I put my Z-Man plastics in here. This is a Z-Man Pop Frogs. I like using this in subsurface. And so if you're interested in utilizing this and learning how to fish this, did a video on that as well. Surprise, surprise. Got 1,600 videos on the Wendell Fishing channel. All right, so easily just throw it up there and not gonna bounce around. All right, this right here is going to be my rudder control. And so essentially what you do once you get in the water, right now, if we go back here, you will notice the rudder's up. However, when I go up here, pull this out, the rudder goes down. There it is. And as I turn the rudder control left, right, that is how I move. So it makes it real easy. And if I'm coming up the shore or somewhere really shallow, let's pull this up, lock it in, good to go. All right, moving on down. Ooh, this guy right here. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I love it yet because I've only used it a couple times and I like it a lot. However, I used to not have anything and I used to go for hours upon hours of sitting. So this seat cushion, I like it. I've only been at it for maybe 3 or 4 hours and I really, really like it. And here's another thing I like about it. I basically right now just have it tied down with some zip straps, but there's a lot of different webbings here to zip it tied to your seat however you like it. And this is what I like about it. Let's go and open this up. So this is going to be, I think, some type of like what they use in a medical field. And so it comes like medium firm, medium soft. And the beauty of this is that literally it can downpour, and this isn't going to stay wet forever. And so the water is going to go right through that. So looking forward to get some time on the water with this guy. And if you're looking for this on the YakAttack website, this is called the Multi-Flex seat cushion. So check that out. I believe they're only 60 bucks. And a lot of times the seat cushions out there in the market can push 70 or 80. So stay tuned, hear more about this. All right, now how I get this bad boy to and from the water. I don't have a trailer. I basically just shove this into the back of my truck here, and it sticks out to about right here. No big deal. And then I kind of use the strap to keep it in. And I basically just pull it off, and it goes down on these native watercraft. These are called sidekicks. And essentially what I'll do is once I get in the water, I'll turn around on my seat, basically take these out, flip them up, and boom, they sit right there. I don't have to go back and take the kayak cart back to my truck or anything. I'm literally on the water. I'm good to go, and I'm ready to pull this thing out. Before I get out of the water, I turn around, shove the pneumatic wheels down in the water a little bit, push that in, and basically just get out of the front and pull that thing out of the water, out to my truck. It's really easy. I like the pneumatic wheels. I don't have a lot of trouble pushing these back down in the water, and if they were some reason fall out, they would float. So I'd hopefully be able to find them again. Maybe, we'll see. But had these for a long time. Big fan, and they just hook into your track mounts on your kayak. All right, this is a new addition. This bad boy right here, this is going to be the YakAttack Blackpack Pro. Now, I upgraded from, I don't know if you guys can see it. I made a couple videos years ago. 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and basically how to make your DIY kayak crate with rod holders. And so that's what you see up there. And to be completely honest with you, it got a ton of views. I think 100,000, 150,000 on one of the videos. So if you don't have the budget, then I would go watch those, and you can make your own for pretty inexpensive. However, I do love the Blackpack Pro, and since I'm all into kayak fishing, I went all in on my Blackpack. And so let me show you how I have this bad boy rigged up. The Blackpack, if you buy it, that's just gonna be the box on the bottom. It's gonna come with this lid on the top. And they come in 3 different sizes. You're gonna have the 13 by 13, the 13 by 16, and the 16 by 16. So before you buy them, you're gonna measure how much room you have behind the seat in your kayak. Now, they also come with a varying number of these tether tubes. The 13 by 13 is gonna come with 3. The 13 by 16, which is the one I have right now, is going to come with 4, and the 16 by 16 is going to come with 6. So when I bought the 13 by 16, I need to buy 4 extra tether tubes, and I think if you buy them on Amazon, I think you can get a 2-pack for like 25 bucks. Not a big deal. Now above that, I have something called the short stack, which is really nice just to reach around, flip this bad boy open, and just have a lot of things available to me. And so I'm gonna have my Leech sunglasses in there, and I put a couple of my Live Fishing bait holders. So these are really nice. Once again, you get a deal using my code. And so got a bunch of X-Zone stuff in there that I've been goofing around with. But these are really nice because they fit nicely in here. So I have some of the latest and greatest soft plastics. I'm going to have my scale. And then you have something, this is an add-on. This is going to be the 16-inch dual compartment mesh storage bag. And so a lot of times I'll keep a variety of different things in here, and keep a soda in here, and keep a rain jacket, and keep some cords, an extra battery, whatever it is that I want. Kind of sits nicely. You don't have a lot of real estate on a fishing kayak, so anytime you can make it or create it, and that's what I did here. What else do I have in here? Oh yeah, this guy. We'll get to that in just a moment before we get done talking about the Blackpack Pro. I'm gonna forget this, so let me keep that out here so I don't forget to talk about that. So that's the short stack. Now, if you want to get into the larger storage container, you flip that back, and boom, this is where I'm going to be keeping, let me see what I got here. I got my rain jacket in there. I got another larger Live Fishing with some mule fishing stuff in there. They got the new bluegrass bug. I'm excited. I know John from Creek Fishing Adventures and Ethan from Mule Fishing had a baby, and boom, it was a bluegrass bug. So Live Fishing packs fit nicely in there, perfect. You can stand up, you can fit a lot of those in there. And then I have my battery, and these are Anderson plugs that I hooked up to make it really easy. So I got a video. If you don't have them hooked up to Anderson plugs, I have them right here, so I can just click on my battery. And then I also have it hooked up to my charger here, so when I get home I can just plug it in. But nonetheless, that's what it looks like. So really easy connect, disconnect. So I'll show you how to do that in a video as well. Now, because this has my battery in it, it's pretty heavy. If I were to ever flip my kayak for whatever reason, I don't want all of this going to the bottom of the lake. So I got their YakAttack tie-down straps. It comes with this little connector, and there's places on my Bonafide P127 to kind of tie that down. So if I were to flip this over, it would not go anywhere as long as I clip these back after I use them. So remember to do that. You don't want to lose a very expensive piece of gear to the bottom of the water. Now, if you don't have this connector like I do, what you could do, let me head over here to the old bait wall. You can get yourself some YakAttack vertical tie downs. These will just go, you can kind of see it down in there. These will go into a gear track, and you can tie them down that way if you like. And then on the back, I used to have a first aid kit. I used to keep it up here in my bow. I ended up making one. If you ever want to make one, I like the ones I can make, and so better than the ones that you could buy. But I really liked this one from YakAttack, and I did some modifications. So really quick, it's out of my way, right? If I really need it, I can get it. If my buddy needs it or whatever, all I need to do is essentially turn around, click this out, and boom, I have a first aid kit. And in that first aid kit, it's waterproof. I put some extra things in there as well. But nonetheless, these are like 50 bucks or so, but it's really nice to utilize the space on the kayak that I typically would not utilize. And it clips back in, and boom, I really don't look at it a whole lot. What else do I got before I move around the kayak? Oh, this is an addition as well. I can just, once again, not having a lot of real estate. Sometimes I'll put my rain jacket in here. I can put a variety of different things in here. This is only 10 bucks, so I was like, oh yeah, why not? All right, now, you might be wondering what this is. This is gonna be my reverse for the motor. If I were to pull this, I'll show you what it does. Basically, it locks that down, and it allows me to go in reverse. So that's why I have that on the left side. And this is going to be how my stern mounted motor. Now, I'm a big fan of this. As you can see, I don't have the steering cables hooked up. They're in fact over there in some shelf somewhere. And I just utilize my rudder. And then when I get into place, I use my motor, my pedal drive, which I haven't even talked about yet. But nonetheless, it was really easy. This is the NK 180, which they don't even sell anymore, and I think the next upgrade is going to be your NK 180 Pro. But I love this thing. It's really, really nice, and basically just, I don't know what I would do without a motor. I don't think I'll ever fish without a motor unless I have to, because the rules in the tournament don't let me. And then I have another trolling motor cable protector from Live Fishing, and I basically just run this up. And this is an add-on as well to run your wires and keep them nice and waterproof. All right, now that I'm getting over to the dark side of my kayak, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this guy completely around so you get some good light, and I'll walk you through this side. All right, that was a good time. So we're turning that thing around on the table without dropping it. All right, guys, if you get some value out of this, please hit that like button below. Let me go and finish up this side and see what we got up here. Next, I have, now obviously I have primary power with my motor in case something goes wrong there. I got my Propel drive, but I also have a backup paddle. So basically got three things going on here. And the paddle isn't a super expensive paddle. And the reason is because I'm not primarily powering my kayak with a paddle. And so I basically just need to get this out of tight spaces, or I need to do a really sharp turn. This is an Ocean Broad. It's pretty heavy. If I was really just doing a paddle only kayak, I would invest into a nicer paddle. But this, I kind of have it hooked up on my P127. This right here is actually called a quick draw. I think it's for a fishing rod, actually. Let's put the fishing rod there, and the rod tip's supposed to go up in here. Never use it. and instead I use it for my paddle, which is really nice. And then I put the YakAttack cup holder, 3D Yak printed this bad boy for me. I fit some stuff in there from time to time, but I primarily use this for my fish grip. So I use the fish grip a lot of time whenever I catch a big fish and I'm taking photos of it, or I'm taking a video of it, or it needs to chill out because it won't stop flipping off my board. I will put this on our lip and then you lock it into place, and I'll let this guy swim around in the water and chill out a little bit. So that fits nicely in that 3D printed topper for the YakAttack cup holder. Now, this I absolutely love. I didn't used to always fish with a net, and so I started getting into tournament fishing, and so I love using that net. I also love sometimes just pulling a bass out of the water, and I've been hooked a few times with treble hooks. I decided, you know what, I'm going to invest in a net. So I want the YakAttack leverage net, the skinny one, and I love it. So whenever I catch a big bass, I'll basically take this out, flip it over, boom, I am ready to rock and freaking roll. And this keeps nice and tight to the side of my kayak, and boom, when I'm done, just flip that back up, and it actually fits in this pre-molded rod holder on the Bonafide P127. So if you don't have one of these, I believe you can put it, a bazooka tube down here and stick it in there, and so be good to go. So I'll throw the link for that in the description below. Now, this is going to be my Boomstick Pro by YakAttack as well. This is going to throw the cameras, how you get the up over the shoulder shots. And I run the power down here to a Aqua Pro battery kit, my second one on the kayak. And this one's going to be a 10 amp hour. It's going to last a long time. And I believe I have this hooked up to an inline fuse that they also can sell as an adapter, and another adapter that runs into a Type-C cable that then runs up here and powers it. And I think I got a YakAttack extension arm to kind of modify that how I like. You can move this around kind of like that, and then basically just Velcro that over the side. Get this out of my way. I'll have 8 rods sticking up back here. We'll get to those bad boys in just a moment. And this is going to be my throttle for my NK 180. So basically once you put magnet up here, reverse, forward, and it'll get this kayak going, I think around 4.7 miles an hour. If it depends on how much stuff I have in it and how windy it is that day, if it's blowing behind me or so forth and so on. But nonetheless, it gets me to where I need to go. Super relaxing. And so I like the NK 180. I like the price point, but I'm not like 100% locked into any of this stuff, right? And so I might move on from Bonafide someday. I don't know. Might move on to another company that I like. So I know there's a lot of great motor companies out there. Hope to lock arms with them. Oh man, got Prime. See if they're bringing me some fishing lures. You bringing me some fishing lures?
No, but I can offer you whatever's in here.
I need more. Yeah, like I hope they're in here.
I do apologize. One quick pick.
Oh, here.
And shablam. There you go.
Thank you much. Have a good one. All right, now I'm up here to my Propel drive. So the Propel drives have been around for a long time. So instant reverse is what I like about it. Get this thing rocking and rolling forward, and basically what you do is you can pull this cover off and this will drop down below, and then you can lock it into place. I never do, and I don't lock it into place. A lot of times I hit stuff and I want this to be able to pop up, which it does sometimes. So you can lock it if you want to. I do not. This is, you can just take it off real easily. Click, click. This thing comes out, and I don't travel with it in there. You're not supposed to. I think you void the warranty on it. So got a little bit more storage on here. This is where I have my live fishing shears. This is going to cut braid really nicely, and sometimes I'll put my sunglasses up here or whatever it is. All right, this is going to be, let's talk about this for a second. This is going to be, I'm going to need 2 hands for this. So basically what this is the YakAttack Visor Pro, and essentially if you're out in the dark, you're fishing in the dusk, by law you're going to have some type of all-around light, and if you're powered by a motor, you're going to have green and red lights on your kayak. But if you're just paddle powered, I believe the law is you have to have an all-around light, and so this is what this is. It fits nicely in my short stack, and it kind of sets up like tent poles like so. And then what you can do is we're going to hook this up to the back. Basically you just run that on your track mount, twist it, and then up here you twist this light, and boom, you now have an all-around light. Now, if you also wanted to do the storage compartment, also, you basically stick this in the little bungees. 1, 2, you have yourself a very visible flag, which, to be completely honest with you, especially around this time of year, start hearing a lot of stories of kayaks that can get hit. You get boats that go up on plane, they can't see you, especially if your kayak's like level with the land that they're looking at, they might just not see you. So having a flag, having a light, live to fish another day, folks. And so I really like this one, and I like that it doesn't have to be up all the time. I can take it down, I can throw it in here. I think we're coming to the end, except for a couple things. All right, now let's talk about the PFD that I run, personal flotation device. This is going to be an NRS Raku. Now, the problem about the NRS Raku is that they discontinued it. I believe the NRS Xander replaced it. It's very similar, but nonetheless, I like NRS products, pretty solid. And I highly recommend, if you're getting into kayak fishing, get a kayak specific PFD, right? And so it's going to be cut out under here, so when you're casting, it's not going to get in the way. If you're trying to use some type of Speedo or something that you already have, it's just not going to be comfortable for you, and you're likely not going to use it. I can't tell you, I think I saw 3 in the past month, people dying because of kayak fishing for whatever reason, and they usually don't have their personal flotation device on. So I recommend getting one of those. And this is what I have in mind, really easy. I got some booms, pliers right here, and there's a place for them. It's really nice, getting treble hooks out on the quick. Next, I highly recommend this. This is gonna be a Rogue phone tether. You basically wrap this around your phone, and I keep it right here, getting out, snapping pictures of bass on your catch board, taking a photo. You don't want your $1,000, $1,500 investment to go to the bottom of the lake, and so Rogue phone tether, and it fits really nicely and zips in there. And then this is gonna be our NRS Copilot. I've only had to use this once. I was out fishing with a buddy. He got his anchor stuck. It was really creating problem, so I reached over here, grabbed this guy, cut his anchor line, got him free. But a lot of times I'll just use this for peanut butter, cutting cheese, whatever it is. And it's got a bottle opener on it. It's got a blunt tip, so you don't just accidentally stab yourself. And so that'll fit in there and clip right in. You're good to go. So this is the NRS Raku. They don't sell anymore. If you do find them right now, you might find them on a steal. I think I was at the Columbus Fishing Expo. They're selling for like 50 bucks. So look for the NRS Raku. If you can't find it, NRS Xander, it's gonna be what you're looking for. All right, now let's hop over to the rods that I use and kind of how I protect those. Let's walk over here. Actually, I'm gonna bring those over here. 1 second. All right, now you're getting a little bonus. I'm giving away the juice and what I'm catching them on right now. And so this is my rod setup. I can carry 8 rods in my Blackpack Pro. And right now I believe I'm running just about all impulse rods, 1 Xfinity Lose, and I'll show you what I'm running on that. So this is going to be already catching bass on the swim jig. I think I got on 20-pound fluorocarbon. I got a new Tatula from Daiwa, so I'm excited about that reel. Just been checking it out and having good luck with it. Also got another one of those same reels. Got the Buka Baits Trick Shad. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm a pro in this yet, but I always have some type of unconfidence lure hooked up, and these look just like the gizzard shad in my body of water that I fish. So I'll have that going on. Big fan of the Mag Draft. This is on a 7.9 rod, and this is going to be my SLX. Another lure that's picking them up right now in March here in Ohio, going into April, is going to be the jerkbait. This is the Berkeley Stunna 112 perch color. This thing right here is stupid. This thing has been catching a ton of fish. This is going to be a Spro Little John. It has a unique bill that it's like a computer chip bill, but this thing catches a ton of bass. Big catfish love this bad boy as well. Got a donkey of a catfish. Spro Little John. Oh my gosh. Woo. Got on a Lose reel, and then I have another Lose Mach 1. I think I got a Ned rig. This is going to be the X-Zone Stealth Invader, which is picking them up for me right now. And then of course, I love this. This is my Lose Hyper Mag, and I think I won this with the tournament last year, and I've loved it. It's my favorite spinning reel. I don't carry a lot of spinning reels. Usually I only carry 1. Early in a year, I'll carry 2 if I'm running a Ned. This is going to be a trapper hook, 1/0 or 2/0, and I'm carrying the Gary Yamamoto worms, which are my favorite and perform. The bite is on, guys. Freaking wacky rig on after ice off. And then I'm protecting them with a lot of freedom right here, folks. These are the Live Fishing neoprene rod protectors. They're running a sick deal all the time. Once again, use Wendell Fishing, get 10% off on those. And they always run sick deals anyways. You buy 6, get 2 free. All right, so there you have it, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. If you're looking for another walkthrough of a kayak, I have one for you right here. This is gonna be a Native Slayer Propel 10, and I do lure videos for every single month, and I break it down kind of by water temperature, so depending on where you are in the country, it will apply to you, and you can check out that playlist right there. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye.